Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for Star Trek Discovery, Episode 11, The Wolf Inside. I'm your host Mike, and joining me is Cleo.
Hello.
Hello. So, if there were any shadows of a doubt left that Tyler was not Voq, they're gone.
Oh yeah, they're gone now. Yeah, that's that. They said it. Like last episode was sort of like, yeah, okay.
We're heavily-handedly, really pushing you that way with a bulldozer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we're there.
Yeah. Because when they were going down to meet the leader of the resistance, who was a Klingon, I was trying to think. I was like, I thought it was the prophet, like the guy who died.
Yeah.
Kumva. Yeah. But then as soon as like Voq comes out, I'm like, oh, he's looking at himself. This won't last long.
Nope. And you saw he's backing away like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this whole thing, you have an order from the Emperor. Go blow up this base.
Yeah.
Okay. New plan. We're gonna do that after I infiltrate and get a whole bunch of information. Intel, because we need intel.
Basically pulled a Rogue One.
Yeah.
Like a fake Rogue One. Like.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then we'll blow it up after we tell everybody to get out of there. Good plan? Good plan.
Good-ish.
Good-ish. What's not good about the plan? They ran into, Voq ran into real Voq.
Voq.
Yes.
Tyler Voq ran into Mirror Voq, and, some triggers were triggered.
Yes. Including the whole, he went into straight-on berserker rage, like, bitch, you're a Klingon. You remain Klingon or die. It's like...
I'm now imagining just Tyler's, like, PTSD face with just, like, the meme triggered underneath.
Yeah. That's evil.
Yeah, I know.
That's horrible. But, it's...
I don't want to go find that now.
So that, and then we get, I love that they gave Sarek the same goatee or a similar goatee that evil Spock had, or Mirror Spock had.
It's amazing.
How do you make a Vulcan evil? Give him facial hair.
But he's not evil.
No, he's not. He's definitely not.
He's, very much not like Sarek, our Sarek.
No, he seems to be a much more chill Sarek.
Yeah. He's not as, like, snooty or full of himself either as...
Yeah.
As we've seen him be in this.
Mm-hmm. But he does, he is in kind of a position of respect. He's their prophet.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, of course, because he can read minds. That makes sense.
Alright, he's going to mind meld with her, and I'm like, okay, so here's what's going to happen.
Buckle up.
3 outcomes. Outcome A, he sees into the truth of it and says they're from a parallel universe, and everybody's going to be like, what? 2, the overload of information is going to kill Mirror Sarek. Or 3, what happened?
Yeah.
And,
he did a good job of saying it. Like, he said the truth. Like, she's from a world where, quality is possible.
Yeah, he said the truth without confusing people.
Yeah.
Because he was completely baffled.
Yeah, he said it vague enough to not say, that's a different fucking universe.
Yeah. Like, she's not fucking from here.
Yeah.
But enough like, yeah, she means us no harm. Listen to her. We're cool. And then Tyler has his little rage episode and attacks himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he kicks his own ass. I love things like this. Mm-hmm. He kicks his own ass because he's not Klingon anymore. Or, Tyler Volk is not Klingon anymore. So,
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. They didn't completely confirm which way it went, like if this is Tyler's body or if this is Volk's body, because the two standing next to each other, Tyler is taller than Volk is. Tyler is taller.
So, I mean...
So them having to compact his limbs might mean it's Tyler's body and Volk's insides.
Oh, it's possible. They said, well, I mean, from that scene, him flashing back, like, it's him having surgery done on him, and then all of a sudden it's Volk having the surgery done on him. So
they might have been on tables right next to each other.
It's... I don't know, I'm still leaning that they just took Volk and made him human. I mean, it could come out completely different. Like, I really don't know what they did. All we know is, you know, Volk is Tyler, Tyler is Volk. In
that scene, I was like, who's taller? And Tyler is taller.
Yeah. Who has longer arms and legs, though?
Tyler is a pretty lanky dude, so...
True there.
Who knows?
Yeah. So they go with it.
They definitely danced around
they did
not say that, which way it went.
But that was... And later when he's alone with Michael, just the whole... It all comes out at that point. Like, he's having...
Tyler stops fighting.
Yeah, he stops fighting it, and he just, like, starts letting it all back in. And it all comes back in, and he realizes, oh, shit, I am a Klingon. And, you know, she doesn't believe it, but the thing that pushed her was... Like, he's remembering...
What happened to...
he's remembering it as it's coming back to him. Like... Tukumva.
I'm never going to get it, ever.
That's okay.
We're lucky I got Volk. That's one syllable. I can manage that.
Tukumva is long dead, and you're not going to need it.
Well, he keeps coming up.
So, yeah, he sees, you know, her face holding the phaser, like, you're the one who killed him. Aha. All right. And then we fought. Oh, and you fought like a coward, gouging into my eyes, and then it hit her like, I never told anyone. Nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, you're actually him.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I knew there was going to be some shenanigans when she took him, you know, when she said, no, let me do it, like, to transport him into space, which, that's, you know.
A+. That was like a fraction of a second, and he still was all fucking burned from space.
Oh yeah,
that's
you're gonna
crazy.
Start getting freezer burnt pretty quick, or if you're in direct sunlight, burnt.
Which that was something in the beginning of the episode when they ejected the crew members, or the prisoners. I guess those were their prisoners when they killed their prisoners. I was like, oh, they're gonna beam them onto a like really hostile planet. No, they beamed them out into space. I was like.
Oh.
I didn't think of that one.
Yeah. Now, I know this is all sci-fi, Star Trek, happy technology bullshit, but wouldn't it be less energy? Because they have all kinds of crazy technology to create their atmosphere and shit. Wouldn't it be less energy overall to just kick them out an airlock?
Probably, but I feel like this is very showy.
Very showy?
Yeah. Because it's not just them getting sucked out into space.
It's them being rematerialized in space.
Like an extra uncomfortableness to it.
I guess. Just seems like it's inefficient, that's all.
Yeah, the Terran Empire doesn't seem so keen on efficiency.
Now they seem to not give a shit.
Yeah. They seem to be, what is like the most showy and ruthless way I could do this thing?
I could strap him to a photon torpedo and launch him at an asteroid.
You know what? That might be saved for, like, the worst ones.
Oh, my God. Alright, so, on to B-plot. Stamets' 5 Kinds of Crazy.
I can see him through the trees. I was repeating that to myself the entire episode, and then at the end, I'm like,
I get it now. Because he sees himself through the trees.
So the forest is dark, but I can see him through the trees. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
So, I mean, yeah.
I thought maybe he was, like, seeing mirror version of his partner, but it
Maybe,
was just
yeah.
himself. It was just himself.
So, you know,
Also, why do they keep having to replay that scene where his neck gets broken? It's like, I can't see that anymore.
they really need to let that sink in.
I keep having to look away. It's just so
Brutal?
terrible.
Yeah.
So terrible. Every time.
So he's crazy, but he's there cradling, you know, his husband. Or his boyfriend. Anyway, they tie him up thinking, hey, that's the only evidence they have is he's free and the doctor's dead. He must have killed him.
Yeah.
And Tilly goes on this whole, you know, with showing brain scans, like, it's not him. The only active part of his brain is that part. So, like, he didn't do this. It's like, I don't know, the equivalent of, you know, someone in a psych ward breaking out and killing someone because they think they're a demon. Basically, she's saying it's not his fault. Like,
Yeah.
100%, even though he didn't do anything. So, more technobabble. We're going to throw him in the spore chamber. Like, from everything they've established, sure, it makes sense. You know, we're going to throw him in the spore chamber. The spores are going to help him. It's going to fix his brain. And he'll be able to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Nope, I just killed Stamets.
Well, is he dead? Did he
No.
flatline? No.
He
okay.
did. Like, they think he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's why Tilly was crying about it, because, you know, everything was going well. It's like, so... It's like, I'm impressed. Impressed enough to recommend me for command school? Like, yes.
Well, we'll see when there is a command school to
Yeah.
fucking go to.
If we ever get back there,
Yeah.
maybe. And then patient dies. It's like,
Well.
well then.
Yeah.
But, you know, of course he's not dead because he needs to get them out of there. Ish.
Ish. And I mean, even if he is dead,
Sure.
they're the two Stametses are melded. They have been since the this incident began.
Since Stamets was first started, you know.
His eyes wide over, calling her captain,
Yeah, and
and she even brings that up.
they've
that
been
she-
somewhat linked since well before that, like when Stamets was first guiding the spore jumps.
Oh.
Because at the end of that episode, you know, he looks in the mirror, turns away, and the reflection is
That's
doing something completely
right.
different.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Okay, so this is the whole time.
yeah.
I don't think either of them have probably been aware, though, until...
So I'm going to assume this means that the Discovery in the Mirror universe is also working on a spore drive.
No one's made mention of it, and there's no mention of their twin ship, the Glen.
Right.
So which it was what I was thinking. I was like, oh, maybe in this, the Glen is still around, but it seems like it's not, or it never was.
Or they're just
I'm
not mentioning it.
wondering, yeah, I'm wondering if nobody in the Terran Empire knows.
I'm wondering if, from that's the Terran Stamets' point of view, he's just an engineer or whatever on the ISS Discovery. If that's what I think that's how they call him.
Yes, it is.
And just all of a sudden, one day, he starts...
Imperial starship.
Yeah, he starts seeing other shit, and he's catching glimpses of our universe, and, like, people either think he's crazy, or he's like, wow, that's some really cool technology. I'm going to start working on that shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking if he's working on spore stuff on the ISS Discovery, then someone on the ships has to know. You know?
Captain Killy's probably,
Captain
you
Killy.
know. Yeah. She'd love the idea. It's like, I can warp in behind someone and blow them the crap up. Like,
yeah.
I could be here, and then I could be 1,000 light years away instantaneously and blow someone up. Do it.
And it might be that Captain Killy wanted this technology to take over for the Emperor. If she had ambitions that.
That's a good one. So speaking of
but
the
I don't know,
Emperor,
we're like talking out our ass because we don't know what the...
Yeah, we really don't know.
Discovery in this Mirror Discovery is really like.
And we might find out hopefully more next week, because the end of this, Stamets, he's walking through the Spore Forest, and hey, there's Mirror Stamets walking towards him. Like, finally, I was hoping you'd get here.
Yeah.
And
he calls him Paul, says
like,
we got work to do.
We got work to do.
Glad you can make it. And I mean, that's probably why his brain's lighting up like a Christmas tree, because he's...
Two of him.
Two brains are firing at the same time.
They'd be really mindfucky if, like, 5 more Stametses start walking out of the woods.
Let's start with the 2, and we'll move on from there.
We'll move from there, yes. But the Emperor.
Giorgio.
It's like, another ship in orbit, they're opening fire. Why can't we see them? And they just go a bunch of photon torpedoes, and oh look, the surface of the planet is now a fireball. And then it's like, incoming transmission from the Emperor. Uh-oh. And there's the Emperor. Giorgio.
She looks fucking dope.
In gilded armor with a giant fucking sword.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Everybody bows, and Michael's just standing there. Like, that's...
I started, like, doing the dance.
That's why it had to be her, because that's... Because no one else would have gotten that reaction out of Burnham. From
Burnham. And, I mean, I forget this sometimes, because it's, you know, she's clearly... Obviously, she is the main character. She's not the captain.
Right.
So sometimes I do kind of forget that she is the main character.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really what's gonna affect her the most.
Exactly.
Fucking a Klingon is probably high up there on that list.
Yeah. Probably.
Not just that she fell in love with Tyler, but that he is a Klingon. That's gonna
mess with her.
Need some time to sink in. It's only just been revealed, but yeah.
Just a bit. It's like, what? You don't bow to your Emperor? It's like, oh, yeah, you probably should have done that.
And she bows at the waist? I'm like, no, get on your knees. You need to grovel.
Yeah.
I was like, at that point, I would just be like on the floor. Hands out.
Hands out, take a knee. Yeah. So she's pissed, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if I gave an order, I expected followed. I'm the fucking Emperor.
Yeah. She is really commanding, too.
Yeah,
like very scary.
Very scary. Gotta warp across half the sector and clean up your mess? No. Emperor doesn't do that shit. That's not the way this works.
No.
One thing we didn't mention, and I almost forgot about this. Mirror Saru.
I wasn't gonna let you forget about it, don't worry, because I was crying.
Yeah.
And she called him Saru, like, by accident, and she's like, I'm naming you after someone I respect.
Like,
it's like, oh my god!
And he's, like, you know, a slave has no name. Okay. Was that were you actually never given a name? Or was that your name, and it's like, how the fuck does the captain know my name?
It's a great question. Did our Saru, did he say whether he was a slave before he got off his home planet, or...
No, the bits we got are, there are not that many of them, and on their home planet, they were prey.
Okay.
Like, to other, larger, scarier species.
Yeah.
So, there was not much about that. All we do know is that Saru is really fucking fast, and really goddamn strong.
Yeah.
Like, that's only come up, I think, one other time, but, this Saru, like, Tyler's...
Just when he was fighting...
Yeah.
With Burnham.
Right, but
really...
Yeah, so Tyler's strangling Burnham here at this point, and Mirror Saru grabs him and chucks him across the room. Like, not just like not just a stumble, not just like a, make you trip and fall over. No, he lifts him off the ground and throws him.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. And that's kind of scary. It's like, okay, so you let this guy bathe you, trim your nails, and do all this other stuff, yet he could probably break you in half. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
wondering if they have fail-safes for their slaves.
He did have a shackle on his leg.
Okay.
So there might be some...
They might have other, like, shot callers and things like that, to make sure they don't do things they don't want them to do.
Probably something along those lines, yeah. But I mean, that's all I got. Like,
oh my god, the whole scene where she first sees him. I'm like, when you get back, you give Saru a hug. I don't care. Just give that poor boy a hug.
I don't care if those little dangly things on the back of his head start tingling, like,
Hug
you
him.
know, stranger danger, stranger danger. But you hug the shit out of Saru and you tell him you love him.
Yeah,
Platonically speaking, of course, as a fellow
Of course.
officer.
of course. As best friend.
Yes.
Although I don't know, I think Burnham and Tilly are kind of best friends.
Tilly's adorable.
You can have more than one best friend.
Yes, you can. But Tilly is adorable.
Oh god, she's the best. She's the best.
So next week, Lorca and Michael wind up on the Emperor's ship. The Emperor winds up beating the shit out of Lorca.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
I'm actually getting kind of scared that Lorca's gonna die.
that he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to get there too.
Because he got tortured for a few days straight.
He got tortured.
Beat the fuck up. Yeah. So
I don't know.
I'm also worried that Giorgio is gonna know. Because if she was Burnham's mentor in this world, just like in our world, then one tiny slip up and she'll know that's not her Burnham.
Yeah. And, thereafter, like, you know, the mirror universe, like, it's known to the regular universe that the mirror universe exists, if they're saying, you know, canon-wise, because they went there in Enterprise.
Yes.
And Hoshi wound up as the Empress. But, so, it would only stand to reason that the mirror universe knows about an alternate universe existing. So, of all people to know that, the Emperor is pretty
Right.
high on that list.
Yeah.
So, like you said, one slip up by Burnham, and it could just click and be like, what?
And you know what? If the Emperor does know, it would also make sense that nobody else knows, because that would be something that the Emperor would want to keep secret.
That would be kind of like a top secret classified thing, like E.T.
Yeah.
landed in Roswell and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, only a couple people are going to know about that. Need to know basis and all that. That's all I got.
And on the flip side, that might not be something that's widely spread in Starfleet. I mean, not something that they keep secret, but
That's something that only, like, the admirals would know about.
yeah.
And even then, probably only a couple of them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, by the way, when Admiral Archer, because he's an admiral by this point, if he's not dead yet, you know,
Oh. I love Archer.
yeah. It's like when Admiral Archer was doing all this shit, you know, this happened, and there was an alternate universe involved with weird versions of us, of, like, you know, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know about it. Anyway, next week's episode is called Vaulting Ambition, and it's probably going to be a doozy. I just need more of Giorgio in scary golden armor and that fucking sword.
Which we'll definitely get.
Yeah.
I cannot for the life of me remember what happened in the promo.
I vaguely do.
I don't.
I remember her holding a knife to Michael's throat at some point while they were eating dinner.
Oh, yes!
And then I remember seeing her beat the
Super
crap out of
fancy
Lorca.
dinner. Okay.
So,
So basically it's just gonna be Scary Queen.
Scary Queen. It's like she's the, you know, in the normal universe, she is the model Starfleet officer. The model
Yeah.
captain. Like, you know, almost kind of like, you know, she's a really good captain. We'll just go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Alternate, she's the fucking Emperor.
Yeah.
The only thing she needs to do is shoot lightning out of her fingertips, and
Ultimate power!
Star Wars
Oh,
fans
no,
will be going
unlimited.
nuts.
now I want to Photoshop her with lightning coming out of her hands.
Psst. Anyway, that's our show. Miss Cleo, where can they find you?
You can find me at Cleo Moto on the internet.
You can find me on the internet at Philidrin, mostly Twitter. You can find all of us at Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, YouTube, and Twitch at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at all that was English. You can follow us at all of those places for some more podcasts, some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. If you missed this live, you can catch the VOD on YouTube. And thank you all for watching.
Bye-bye.
I need that hand.